Hello, teachers! When it comes to teaching English as a second language, introducing new vocabulary is obviously very important. Increased vocabulary gives students an increased confidence and fluency in the language. There are many different ways to teach and learn new vocabulary, but when it comes to teaching online, and more specifically, online group classes of about 20 to 30 students in a limited amount of time, your options become very limited. In fact, you may often find yourself defaulting to drilling. Drilling involves the teacher pronouncing the new word or sentence and the students repeating after the teacher. Drilling can be a great technique for memorizing new words and practicing pronunciation, but it can get boring and ineffective very quickly. In this video, I hope to help you get some new ideas to help you use drilling in a more creative and effective way. So let's begin. How to do effective drilling for online ESL group classes. Everyone say, between! When you're teaching a large class, I feel that it is important to try your best to appeal to all the different types of learners in the class so that they can all have a chance to really benefit from the lesson. This is why getting students to use as many senses as possible in the lesson while drilling will not only make the lesson more enjoyable, but also help them remember the new vocabulary easily. So, what types of learners do we get? They can be broken up into 4 different categories. How do we appeal to each one of these learners? Let's begin with number 1, visual learners. These learners learn best through sight. So, whenever you introduce new vocabulary, be sure to show the students a picture of it. The material will usually have pictures already included for you, but why not add more? Props, Aurelia, anything for the students to see. While you're drilling the word, make sure to circle the picture. Move your prop around, and don't forget to use yourself as a prop too. Use big, dramatic gestures and facial expressions. Acting for them will definitely help engage their sense of sight. In this video, I will also be giving a few quick drilling game ideas. But remember, these are only meant to last a minute or two. The first idea is one that is commonly used by many teachers, called, "What's this?" Show them a picture or the object that you just taught them, and have them all tell you what they see. What is this? Perfect. And this? For younger ones or slightly more challenging words, you could even try giving them options. For example, is this a box or a hat? This is a great way to get them trying to remember their new words. Or Pictionary can be fun too. Start drawing one of the words you're busy drilling and have them guess. The first student to guess correctly gets awarded or gets points for their team. You can also get them to use their sense of sight by closing their eyes. Tell them to think of one of the words that you're busy drilling. For example, kitchen. Then say, imagine the kitchen is your favorite color. Then ask, what color is your kitchen? This can make them relate the new words to their own lives, attaching it to something they enjoy, and getting them to talk about it and use the new vocabulary. Next, we have drilling for number 2, auditory learners. They remember and pay attention to sounds. So, when you introduce the new words, try make it sound interesting. Vary your tone and speeds. Use your voice to show what you are saying with intonation and sound effects. Cat, cat, cat. Meow. new words in chants, rhymes, and songs will appeal to these learners too. Some ideas for quick drilling games? You tell the students to repeat after you, but when you whisper it, they must shout it. And when you shout it, they must whisper it. Young students love when they get the chance to shout. You could play parrot or robot too. Tell them to repeat the new words after you and parrot it or say it like you do. Say it loud in a silly voice or a manly voice or a slow voice or 5 times very fast. You could make it a little trickier too by telling them that if you say a word they didn't learn today, they must keep silent. Chanting and rhymes can be made a game too. Have them all say the new words in a sentence. There's a cat on the mat. There's a cat on the mat. There's a cat on the mat. You could add sound effects too. Meow. Now let's consider number 3. Reading and writing learners. These learners learn by spelling and seeing how words are spelled. For these learners, it is important for us to remember to make sure they can always see the new words. Write it out for them. Underline it in the material. They learn best from reading it and seeing how it's spelled. Something I think we often forget to do as teachers online is encourage students to write the words. They could write it in the air, or on a piece of paper, or in their books. This way, they have to think more about the word than simply how to say it. Some quick drilling game ideas? After introducing the new words, type them all out on the board, but with their letters in the wrong order, and then have the students figure out which word it is supposed to be. Or you can get them to spell out the words by shouting the letters. For example, you say, "Give me a T, T. Give me an A, A. Give me a B, B. Give me an L, L. Give me an E, E." And then you end off by saying, "What does that spell? Table." And finally, the 4th kind of learner, Kinaesthetic learners. These students learn better when they're moving. These students will enjoy the warmers with movement and dancing, but it doesn't need to stop there. TPR, or total physical response, is a great learning technique for kinetic learners and others. Incorporate TPR into your drilling, and it will help students associate movements and actions with the new words, making it easier for them to understand and remember. Hen, hen, hen! Good job! Some quick drilling game ideas? You could play charades. So while you're drilling, use gestures, pull faces, act out verbs, and show nouns by what you can do with them. Everyone say, beside, beside, beside. Beside, beside, beside. Have them copy you while you're drilling. And then, after introducing all the words this way, you can act out the different words and have the students guess which word you're acting. After that, you could choose students to come to the front and pick a word to act out for the class. Points for the winner! Another simple but effective game idea that I saw another teacher using is to have all the students stand up, then have them act out the word you tell them. Start slow and then speed up, moving from one word to the next. Running. Swimming. Running. Swimming. Swimming. I hope these ideas help you in your classes or inspire you to think of new and effective drilling ideas. Happy teaching, and thanks for watching.